What's good, YouTube? Sensational Sincere is here, and I'm back with another Tom Clancy's The Division vendor reset video. We're here for July 23rd, 2021's vendor reset. So let's get right into this and see what we got good for this week. For our first gear items, head over to Camp Hudson. Here the weapons vendor has an extended magazine. For our next gear items, we're still at Camp Hudson. Head over to the gear vendor here. We got a prototype electronics mod with 203 electronics and 3% damage to elites. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 3.50% ballistic shield damage. For our next gear items, head over to the base of operations. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has an enhanced ACRE. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the gear vendor, and here we got a prototype stamina mod with 260 stamina and 3,144 skill power. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the advanced weaponry vendor, and here we got a police UMP 45. Next here we got a tactical SA-58 if you like to run this weapon. Next here we got a police MK-17. Also here we got a military MK-46. Next here we got a large suppressor FDE. Also here we got a vertical grip. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the special equipment vendor, and here we got a Liberator if you like this weapon. Also here we got a military MK-46. Next here we got a Spec Ops mask with the talent Enduring. Also here we got a Spec Ops armor with the talent Reckless. Next here we got a tactical pack with the talent Relentless. Also here we got a prototype performance mod with 2% pulse critical hit damage. Next here we got a heavy magazine spring. Also here we got a VX1 scope times 12. For our next gear items, we're still at the base of operations. Head over to the special blueprints vendor, and here we got a snub nose rhino blueprint with a gear score of 256. Next here we got a firearms gloves blueprint with a gear score of 256. And also here we got an angle grip red blueprint with a power level 34. If you have something at the blueprint vendor that I don't have, drop it in the comments section to help others out. For our next gear items, head over to the Cavern. Here the gear vendor has a Spec Ops pack with the talent Specialized. And also here we got a prototype electronics mod with 265 electronics and 3% skill haste. For our next gear items, head over to Camp Clinton. Here the special equipment vendor has a Liberator. Next here we got a Pecan if you like to run this weapon. Also here we got a G36 enhanced. Next here we got a Super 90. Also here we got a Spec Ops armor with the talent Rapid. Next here we got an operator pack with the talent Inventive. Also here we got a prototype performance mod with 4.50% ballistic shield damage resilience. Also here we got a mega rifle suppressor. Also here we got a vertical grip. For our next gear items, we're still at Camp Clinton. Head over to the special blueprints vendor, and here we got a classic M60 blueprint with a gear score of 256. Next here we got a stamina knee pad blueprint with a gear score of 256. Also we got a flash hider blueprint with a power level 34. And also we got a small laser pointer blueprint with a power level 34. For our next gear items, head over to Dante's Run. Here the gear vendor has a prototype stamina mod with 210 stamina and 3% damage to elites. And also here we got a prototype performance mod with 3.50% secret mine damage. For our next gear items, head over to Autumn's Hope. Here the gear vendor has a tactical vest with the talent Rapid. For our next gear items, head over to Madison's Stand. Here the gear vendor has a Spec Ops pack with the talent Inventive. For our next gear items, head over to the Last Call. Here the weapons vendor has a Model 700. And also here we got an extended magazine. For our next gear items, head over to the Southpaw. Here the gear vendor has a prototype performance mod with 2% pulse critical hit chance. For our next gear items, head over to West 31st Street Checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a Spec Ops pack with the talent Inventive. Also here we got a prototype performance mod with 3.50% mobile cover damage resilience. And also here we got a 5.52 hollow sight with 8% critical hit chance. I think this is kind of rare. I'm gonna grab me a couple of these. For our next gear items, head over to West 34th Street Checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a tactical M249 Para. For our next gear items, head over to West 46th Street Checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has an M700 Carbon. And also here we got a Spec Ops armor with the talent Rapid. For our next gear items, head over to West 53rd Street Checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a tactical AUG A3P. And also here we got a tactical mask with the talent Refreshed. For our next gear items, head over to East 58th Street Checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a tactical vest with the talent Reckless. Next here we got a tactical pack with the talent Relentless. For our next gear items, head over to the Park Ave Checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone weapons vendor has a Navy MP5N. Next here we got a tactical MK16. For our next gear items, head over to East 46th Street Checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a military AK-47M. For our next gear items, head over to East 42nd Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a tactical mask with the talent Tenacious. And also here we got an extended magazine. For our next gear items, head over to East 34th Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a prototype performance mod with 6% first aid ally heal. And also here we got a heavy velocity magazine. For our next gear items, head over to East 31st Street checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a Spec Ops armor with the talent Vigorous. For our next gear items, head over to the 5th Ave checkpoint. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a custom M870 MCS. For our next gear items, head over to DZ3 safe room. Here the Dark Zone weapons vendor has a military MK46. For our next gear items, head over to DZ5 safe room. Here the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has a high velocity magazine. And also here we got a muzzle brake. For our next gear items, head over to DZ8 safe room. Here the Dark Zone vendor has a tactical mask with the talent Rehabilitated. Next here we got a Spec Ops armor with the talent Reckless. Also here we got a tactical pack with the talent Inventive. For our next gear items, head over to DZ9 safe room. Here the Dark Zone weapon mod vendor has an extended magazine. Alright everybody, that's it for our Tom Clancy's The Division vendor reset video for July 23rd, 2021's vendor reset. I hope everybody tuned into it, found something that they needed. Smash on the sub and like button, y'all. I appreciate that support, and I will see y'all with the next one. Everybody take care, peace.